And now, Freelance Heroism presents Return to Ravenloft.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before we get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates at the Patreon, in particular those who donate at the producer tier.
Yes.
Rachel, would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Duncan, Chris B, Nate, Breakmeister, and Rebecca. Thank you so much, everyone.
You help us make a better show for everyone, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Rachel.
Dees.
I want to talk about Diablo 4.
Okay.
Okay? Now, if we were talking about Diablo 4 2 months ago, this conversation would have taken a very different tone. I think.
Yeah.
But now, it's a more positive, uplifting tone.
I would agree. Yes.
Helltide in Diablo 4 right now is so much fun.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So before it was Helltide, you'd go in, it's this big red area of the map, and you go in there and you kill some stuff and it drops some loot. But it was kind of boring, and enemies were they'd 3 or 4 or 5 enemies would attack you, and then you'd have to run for a long distance to get to another group. And essentially you're collecting these things called cinders, and use the cinders to open chests, and they didn't drop cinders all the time, and the chests cost like $1 billion.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
Yeah.
It was really sucky, and they made you do it. You kind of had to do it.
Yeah, you kind of had to do Helltide.
And it sucked. But now, Helltide is a clusterfuck of mobs. There's so many. They have these giant worms that come up out of the ground, and they vomit up demons at you. And it is the craziest shit. They'll knock you off your horse.
Yeah. It's happened to me multiple times.
I'd never had it happen to me, not once, until just recently.
And okay.
Like the other day, because you guys talk about it knocking you off the horse all the time. I'm like, I've never been knocked off my horse by one of these fucking things. And then sure enough, as soon as I had that thought, it knocked me right off. And I was like, wow. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I really, really like it. Even when I'm frustrated by the new tempering stuff, like if I break a piece of gear from the tempering.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, damn it, this sucks. I'm still having a good time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I also really like the there's a threat bar that builds up as you're really in the Helltide. And then when you max that out, you get attacked by several waves of monsters and then a really tough guy at the end of it.
Right, and it's individual to each person. So there's this weird interaction where you go into the Helltide, you run in, you kill a bunch of mobs, and then yours procs. But then the guy who was helping you, his might proc.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that on the back burner because it's relevant to this next thing. There's a summon stone like they used to have in this other content, right? And so you summon this boss, and she's not easy.
No.
She is legit tough.
Yeah.
And so she shows up, and in World Tier 4, she's kind of a difficult boss. It takes multiple people to beat her. Yeah. And then she summons mini bosses, like a shit ton of them, and they're not like some pushover. They're decent.
They've got overlapping ground effects that you have to keep an eye out for.
She'll target people randomly and put circles around their feet, which then drop on the ground, and then after a couple seconds will explode. So there's 5 people fighting this boss, and when she puts the thing on, everyone runs in the same direction to get away from it, and then everyone's circles start overlapping on each other. It gets really chaotic. It's raining fire out of the sky, and they hit the ground like meteors. Then she summons her other bosses, her little mini bosses. You're fighting all of these at the same time, and then your threat meter procs, and then that guy over there's threat meter procs.
Yep.
And now it's
and then a worm bursts out of the ground and vomits more monsters.
It's amazing. It's so good. It is a clusterfuck. I'd never seen really people dying in when it was the Blood Tide?
Yeah, the Blood Tide.
Or the Blood Harvest. Which is where they took the boss summon thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that one was a little soft. in my opinion. It wasn't super hard. This one's a little harder.
Yeah.
And the guy who summons, the Hellborn guy, who summons at the end of your threat meter, whew. I see people get killed by those things all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are tough.
Yeah. And now they have an item that you use when you're in the Helltide, which is already chaotic and clusterfucky, right? And now if you use this thing, it makes all the mobs 10 levels higher. Yeah. Which is awesome. It's so good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's real good. Helltide is exceptionally fun.
Helltide now, because this is also season 4 that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It feels like what I think I would think of when I thought of Diablo. Like, I never played a lot of Diablo. I played a little bit of the first one, but I never played the second or the third. So how Helltide is now, where it's so chaotic and you have tons of monsters running at you, and that's how I always thought Diablo was.
Yeah.
So it's very fun.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Mob density was never really difficult in 2 or 3. I didn't play 1, but I played 2 a lot, and I played 3 a shit ton. But I don't know. I don't remember anything being as dense as Diablo 4's Helltide. It is fucking crazy in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to leave, and it won't let you.
Yes.
Like, you're trying to summon a portal just to get the fuck out of there. It's rough. You, like, open your map for a second to look for somewhere, and they will send these little explodey bomb dudes at you with there's like 20 of them, and they just spawn at your feet.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You go
God.
You go to pick like herbs or something off the ground, and a bunch of mobs spawn around you.
Yeah, it's crazy. They'll just like jump out of the bushes at you. They're like, "Those are herbs!" And you're just like, "Oh shit!" It's excellent. So good.
Yes.
And they made it available in World Tier 1, because normally you'd have to get to World Tier 3 before you could get a Helltide.
Yeah.
But now it's a Helltide you can get right away, right from the start. And they drop boss parts all over the place, which is great. I haven't farmed boss parts once. I have 172 living steels right now.
Oh, wow. I think I have
probably more at this point.
I have probably between 80 and 90 living steel right now.
But have you been like actively looking for them, or have they just happened?
They've just happened.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
Because we were having this issue where we would sit down to play, and it's like, oh, well, we want to do bosses later, like for the stream. So I guess for the next few hours, we'll just farm parts.
Yeah, it was crazy how boring it was.
Yeah.
But now it's the best thing ever. It's literally the most exciting. I mean, I was just in Helltide like minutes before we came here.
Yeah.
And like, it feels good. Like when your build starts to not be threatened anymore, and you can kind of run around and just really chug.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a good feeling.
It's really fun.
Yeah. And the thing is like, this isn't even the hard shit. Helltide's like easy shit.
Yeah.
So the pit I'm excited for. I want to get everybody kind of a little better geared and aspected up and everything, and then we'll run the pit. But if you die in the pit, okay, so this is a new thing they put in, right?
Okay.
It's like old Nightmare Dungeons from 3, which is like you go in, you kill a bunch of mobs until you open you kill enough mobs until you open this portal to the next range, and it's random every time, so you don't know what you're going to get. Throws you into the next zone, and then you shred those, and then it opens portals until you finally open the portal to the boss, right?
Okay.
Very similar to the old system, except for I don't think there were portals. You would just run through an area. The portals were static. Whatever. So, but what's really cool, in my opinion, is that in this one, that they keep increasing in difficulty as you go higher up. It goes up to pit tier 200, and they said, do you remember how hard the Abattoir of Zir was? For anyone who doesn't play Diablo, this is a complicated thing to listen to, but
yeah,
this is a niche intro for Diablo players. Do you remember how hard Abattoir Zir 25 was?
Yes.
Like, it was hard.
Yeah.
Like, one shot you all the time.
Yeah.
That's 150 pit. 150 is Average party simulator. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to gear up a little bit and work on my my resistances are garbage right now.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so this it's been really fun. If you wanted to play an ARPG, or you wanted to just play a game where you can just kind of mindlessly grind, kill a bunch of mobs, stuff like that, get cool explosion powers. This is a fucking. We're not being sponsored by Diablo. I wish we were. If they could just give me a cool cosmetic, I'd be down.
Yeah.
But it's really good now. It wasn't good. It wasn't good recently.
Yeah.
We played season 3.
By the end of season 3, it was rough.
I was chugging. I was having a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think because we didn't play it at the start of season 3 because we were so off put by season 3's like announcement and everything.
Yeah.
But I figure coming back for 4 because we got to play the PTR. We were like, I'm gonna be excited for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be excited for season 4. So I'll go back and play season 3 just to get the cosmetics and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I got to 100. I got a second character up to 93. I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really liking season 4, although I am underwhelmed by a lot of the cosmetics for season 4.
Yeah, especially, well, look in the store. They look way better in the store.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate. They should have better ones that you can just earn. But
yeah,
we'll look. The game's better now. It plays better. We can get to that stuff tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
I'm excited every time now I log into the game. To play. I'm just like supercharged to go burn up some stuff. And the masterworking thing, I only masterworked my first pair of boots 3 times.
Oh.
And so I didn't get a random tick yet, but once we get into the pit, I want to just run pit over and over again. The masterwork shit. I'm going everything masterworked. All of it.
All right. Okay.
So if you're not a Diablo player, you should play Diablo. If you are a Diablo player and you're like, Diablo sucked, give it another shot. It's really good.
Yeah, season 4 is very good.
I highly recommend you just put your points in and then go straight to Helltide at level 1.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's very fun.
Yeah. Anyway, so what's the episode?
All right. So this week we are back to Return to Ravenloft. This is season 3, episode 1, Kobo-Holder.
What? Kobo-Holder?
Kobo-Holder. Like a
Kobo-Holder.
Yeah, like a Kobo-Holder.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right you know it. Everyone here knows it.
Yeah.
We all know what that means.
Yeah, and you will too. Soon.
Sounded threatening.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, to the episode. So, last I recall,
you split the party.
The boat had the crew, and they went to go do something else, but it doesn't concern me, so I didn't pay attention. I'm with Adrie's dad, Frail and Adrie's mom, who doesn't know she's Adrie's mom, and is hanging out with a guy who, at the beginning of this game, wanted to kill me, but now is trying to petition me for leadership of the realm. Right? Do I have that correct? Soth?
I don't think
From
you've seen...
point of view.
Soth and Soft... hold on. I'm trying to remember how to do this. Okay. Undead Soth, and that's not gonna rhyme anymore if I do it that way. Doesn't matter. Rachel's elf mama, who doesn't know she's elf mama, who, by the way, will be attracted to Kaeviir because of his I mean, obviously good looks, his rugged old man looks, and he doesn't sing, which is a huge plus. Huge plus. You know, sometimes I think women like bards, but only because they've never seen a person who looks as good as a bard who doesn't sing. Because I think that's got to be better, right? They're like, "Do you sing?" I'm like, "No." "Do you dance?" "Are you what?" Yeah.
Don't sing, don't dance. What do you do?
Everything else. I like it the butthole. See, the women's they dig it.
Oh,
All right.
You ever seen a dog eat one of those doggy ice cream cups? Like that. If you have ever seen that,
Oh my
that's a very funny joke. Anyway.
Could have easily gone with peanut butter, but sure.
It's because I'm so cool, Nate.
oh.
It's always a
Brother.
rocky road when you're eating doggy ice cream.
Oh.
I just drank a 5 hours, so I'm still riding that energy.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm just helping Rachel with clips here. This
Thank
is,
you.
Hey, no problem.
She
Toots.
needs the pattern.
I've been saying. You ever see that video where the police is frisking this guy on the side of the road, like he like over his car, and then he's like, "What's this? What's this?" He's like, "That's my penis." He's like, "Oh." It's just like, wow, he was really grabbing it like it was like a gun or something. I was born with a gun-shaped penis. I can't help it.
Oh. Good times.
Don't cock that thing.
It's not a Megatron G1. Don't cock it.
It's loaded.
Careful, it'll go off in your face.
Oh my God, it's loaded. It's loaded. Oh my God.
It don't fire blanks.
God, I wish mine only fired blanks. I'm not kidding. I wish it was just Gogurt, just pure Gogurt. I mean, for my use case, much better.
I don't even want to follow that train of thought right now.
Nope.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
not going down this road.
Oh, damn it, we're out of mustard again. Hang on.
Oh.
These are weird hot dogs.
Is that enough? No, I was hoping for a little bit more. Okay, give me 20 minutes.
That was my nickname at college, Ballpark Frank.
Oh my God.
It's not
Had
kosher.
nothing. He liked to go to the baseball games and just, smear relish all over his face.
Oh, and I charge people $3.50. Okay, so was I accurate as to where we were?
Yes, you are off with Ludo. And Rayne and Adrie are on the ship.
So I can long rest, right?
Yeah, you guys can take long rest. That's fine.
Okay.
We can pick up after both sides have long rested if you want.
Does the ship seem less grumpy to you?
Well, I haven't really been on this ship for too long.
Mm.
My hit points not changing.
The curse of Ravenloft 1.
I long rested.
When you hit long rest, you hit take long rest, you have to hit the confirm before it counts down. Or else it doesn't actually reset it.
Oh, that's actually a good thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know.
Good call, Ray.
Okay. We'll start with Ray and Adrie on the Adrie and Rayne on the ship.
Okay. How much time has passed?
I'm gonna say you guys are about a day and a half out of A few days, because you guys are a day and a half out of Matera Bay, so you'll be there by morning.
Okay. So I have
half a day and a night.
Okay. So I have attuned to my new sword, right?
You have attuned to the Moonblade.
Okay, excellent. David, I would like to start my day by casting
Death Ward. Say it with me, class.
Say it.
Death Ward.
Say it.
I would like to cast Death Ward.
I'd like to start my day with a bowl of Special K, part of a nutritionally balanced breakfast.
Okay.
Okay.
Just when they say complete breakfast, you ever look at the picture what they have for a complete breakfast?
Yeah, it's like
It's like cereal, eggs, toast, orange juice, and milk.
And milk.
Who eats like that? I mean,
someone who's trying to hit all.
Where even were the pretzels? Come on.
There was absolutely no bacon or a hamburger or a slice of pizza in there. What the fuck?
3 burritos with a side salad.
I believe that's what's referred to as an American breakfast, by the way.
Someone showed a picture of all these breakfasts from around the world, and the American one was just a handgun on the table with a pound of bacon.
I ain't mad at that.
I'm not either, really.
All right.
Oh,
So I would like to. Adrie's gonna talk with Rayne because she wants to double check on what exactly our plan is, since we are on our way to rescue his crew.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cargillus enters the room as well to listen.
Oh, the Beholder. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I find what I think are the 2 most active eyes and greet him, because I'm not exactly sure still where to quite stare at him yet.
All the eyes kind of, hi.
Mm-hmm. I'm also going to sit in the back of my mind going, Adrie thinks there's a plan. Oh, shit. So we're a day and a half out from Matera Bay. And you're going to have to refresh my memory a little bit. He has my crew held captive on my ship or his ship. I don't recall. I think it was my ship.
It is your ship.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I also can't recall. I think we tried. We were able to. We think we know the direction, but do we know exactly where, in proximity to Matera Bay, the ship was? I'm trying to recall if we. It seems like I tried to do it.
If it's
because it's not like in town.
It's in the port. It's actually on the northern port.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, because they were also like wrecking havoc in the town itself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's right. For some reason, I was thinking that it was like off on an island or something, but I think I'm getting my boats mixed up. Okay, you can edit all that.
It's all good.
Shit out. Well, I don't have any reason to believe that they're expecting a flying ship, do I? I mean, I imagine.
No, they have no clue you have a flying ship.
So the element of surprise is still on our side. Now that being said, I think I have to be careful with the ship, because I'm pretty sure it'll get taken out of my pay if I scratch it.
That is correct.
Yes, I figured as much. I know that I had asked.
Also, you don't get paid.
Yeah. I know that
out your loot.
Yeah, I had talked with Hawks and with Brandon, and they were going to look into the magical cannons that were on board to figure out if we could utilize those in some way. All right. What's the weather like right now as we're sort of flying along towards Matera?
The area you guys are in, it's real cloudy. It's real overcast. No actual rain or anything.
Is the ceiling high or low to the ground? In other
The
words,
the cloud ceiling's low.
okay.
So you could technically dart above the clouds if necessary.
Yeah, part of me just would. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, D says a picture.
He does.
It's better than staring into the empty black space that was his.
Yeah, I no longer have to just look at his D. Uh,
Hey,
edit. Okay.
No edit.
don't you dare
No
edit
edit.
that.
Don't you dare edit.
Everyone stare directly into my D.
Ah,
So okay. I sort of acknowledge Cargillus's entrance. I think we're going to have to use the weather as cover, and I'm going to hope that things don't change. Although I would imagine there's not going to be much of a reason for it. Like it's not suddenly going to become all sunny and tropical and everything. But we can at least utilize the cloud cover as we move in to at least take the element of surprise, because I imagine they either think we're going to come in by land or by sea, and that's not the case. I don't want to damage my ship. I don't necessarily want to do anything that puts my crew in danger. I need to do something, maybe a diversion of some kind, perhaps. Or, if I got the element of surprise and I've got a magical cannon.
Two cannons.
2 cannons. Boy, it'd be a damn shame if Draga's ship would just explode, like out in the middle of the wharf somewhere.
That would suck.
That would suck. It would also probably gain his attention, and maybe okay. Yeah. I start working on some sort of a diversionary plan, but ideally I think the goal is going to be to try and locate Draga's ship wherever it is parked currently, and see if I can take that son of a bitch down. Gain the element of surprise, throw him off, and then probably Errol Flynn my way onto the boat and start kicking ass. And I don't think Deesa's face can get any bigger on screen right now. But yeah, so that now
I can do it too.
Yeah. Does the ship have some sort of way for me to be able to peer down through the clouds without breaking cover? Like a reverse periscope almost, or is there a way for me, or is the cloud cover going to be bad enough that I'm not going to be able to see through it? Because we're only going to have one shot at this. I'm thinking that the ship's going to come down. If I have no other way to survey the seascape, as it were, once we break the cover of clouds, it's going to be like immediately locate the ship, fire on it, and hopefully take it down before anyone has time to react. Preferably, I'd like to be able to do that without having to break cover first. It would just be nice to just be able to rain death and destruction down on my enemies before they even know what the hell's going on. Was Kaeviir smart enough to put something like that in his ship? I'd have to think he would be, but I don't know. I was complimentary there. I want you to, before you give me that look. I wasn't going to make an assumption, but I wasn't going to say he was an idiot and he didn't. Okay.
When Deep uses pictures as combat.
Yeah. But he's not there for me to ask him. I suppose I could ask.
Well, what are you asking specifically? I'll tell you if it's on the ship. But
in other words, all I want to be able to do is, if I am on board the ship and I am above the cloud cover, do I have a way to penetrate through it to look down and get a sense of what's below me? Like, almost as if I had some sort of like reverse periscope that I could drop down through the clouds and look at. Or
I don't think I ever mentioned a reverse periscope, but the coloration of the ship is very specific, so that if you're traveling at night, the bottom of the ship is black the balloon is black. So from underneath, you can blend right in. So you can actually be under the cloud cover.
So we could do it nighttime. Oh, that would be even better.
It's just
okay.
and you run silent if you turn off.
Yeah, just let the wind do the work.
Right. And because it's a balloon, it's super quiet.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so judging by our current position, D-Walk, and how long we think it's going to take us, about what time will we arrive in Martyr Bay?
Give it a second.
What time would you arrive? If you guys went straight right now?
Yeah.
You'd be there in morning. If you guys rushed it, you guys could get there probably 3-ish. If you guys kept it at the speed you're at, you'll probably be pulling in just shy of daylight.
I think I'd much rather take them on.
No, you can get there and wait and just float above the clouds.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to gauge whether or not this was something we were going to be able to just kind of get there in the nick of time, or would we need to that may not be bad. That may give us some opportunity to get some other stuff done. Okay.
Keep in mind the ship is black, so if you're in the sky, even between clouds, you'd have to move with the clouds or cloud hop in order to hide from them, because it's pretty obvious
during the day.
Yeah.
Okay. I am
Does Draga's ship have any magical defenses?
That's a good question. I don't honestly know.
The ship you remember has normal cannons on it, has a normal sail on it. He's not an elemental galleon of any kind.
Right.
The problem is Draga doesn't spend much actual time up on his ship normally, as you know, as you remember.
I fully don't expect.
Does.
Yeah, I don't expect to get him. I expect to get his attention.
But no, you don't remember. I mean, he has his cannons, he has his grape shot, he has his stuff, but magical defenses, he hasn't come across much in his domain that actually gives that kind of threat.
Yeah, and the sea bitch certainly doesn't either. And I would say it probably, I would say probably of most ships that travel around, there really isn't. I mean, they're going to be just sort of more standard physical defenses as opposed to magical.
Who is on the ship with them right now?
Which ship?
On my ship.
They have Cargelis, they have Hawks, Serena, and Brendan.
Serena probably would know that we have powder barrels, like any standard ship that you would drop, like
Brendan would too.
You would charge,
drop them off behind you, like if you're being followed, take a barrel out with a fuse, right?
Yeah.
But they're much more versatile on our ship. You just push them off the edge and they fall.
Yeah.
Very, very good. When you
just got to time the wick from dropping it, and
well, you drop it right on their you descend from the sky and just toss a barrel right onto their deck.
Yeah.
And then shoot it.
Yeah. And you have a guy who has plenty of fire.
Yeah. That is true.
I wouldn't want to I couldn't tell you that because I'm not there, but if you guys are talking about raiding another ship, Serena, I imagine she would.
Well, the other side is I would have assumed that you would have gone over defenses and weapons with Rayne, being the guy that would have been the captain, so you would have warned him about your different defense mechanisms across the ship.
And I would certainly also spend the next day and a half as we travel doing a full sort of inventory to see, okay, exactly what do I have, at my fingertips.
Out of game, did you warn them about the pipe system you found on the ship that Victor installed?
Pipe system?
The gas pipes?
No.
Okay.
The what now?
We don't know.
The what? The who what?
You remember when your uncle popped in, or Rayne's uncle popped into the fight, dying from gas, or like poisoned from a gas? He had just tried to steal the ship, and some kind of defense
Oh,
mechanism gassed the fuck out of them.
okay. We did see that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys know it's on there, just don't know where it is or how to activate it.
How to activate
Well,
it,
no, they
yeah.
just know he was coughing. They don't know that
Yeah.
it came from the ship.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
you did see the cloud on the ship,
Mhm.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'd say that.
just
I'd
jogging
say,
little
yeah,
things.
Yeah, no.
Do you guys
Understood.
know the code word for the lab?
No,
I
you
don't
didn't
think
tell
so.
it to us.
Oh no! Don't go in there.
Probably wasn't planning on it until you said not to. Now that's
Cargill's
all I want to do.
I would.
Cargill. Go for it.
I would not go in there.
Do not go in there.
Cargillus is floating around the room, and one of his eyes peers over, and Eyestalks kind of looks at you as he's floating around, just kind of keep an eye on you. He's like, "So, who is this Draga Salt-Biter?"
Well, currently he is a Dark Lord and apparently wanting to potentially expand his little kingdom. Prior to that, he was my former captain. The two of us actually crash landed here, if you want to call it that, many years ago. And, well, Draga really was into sharks. He enjoyed utilizing them as sort of a torture device when we were privateering around, as it were. If we came across someone that wasn't necessarily playing ball with us, or one of our enemies, he typically didn't like to kill them. He kind of just liked to torture them by slicing them open, hanging them over the side of the boat, and dragging them along the water as we sailed along. um and the weirdest thing happened when we got here. Pretty sure he got a little bit of a dose of karma. He got attacked by some kind of creature and developed a form of lycanthropy and killed what surviving crew made the trip through. Tried to kill me, didn't succeed, but transferred his little issue to me. Unfortunately, I've been.
Is that going to be a problem when we do this?
Well, I hope not. I hope to be able to use it to our advantage. I've kind of already done that once, which you might remember. I don't know if you'd be foggy on that or not.
I remember, but I remember you also said that you're in control of it most of the time.
Most of the time I am.
Ooh, intriguing.
Yes. Probably somewhere between 90 and 100% of the time, depending upon how the fates might feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
I generally am.
Go for it.
No, I'm generally able to keep it under control, but if I'm being honest, I'll confide in you that as the years have gone on, it gets a little more difficult to keep under control. Okay. I've been able to keep it together so far, which has been good. Mm-hmm. But, I'll just warn you in advance. Now, that being said, when I do transform, I have been able to sort of manage and maintain my wits about me and at least not go off like my former captain did. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can always guarantee that, which is why I want to get a hold of him. It's why I came looking for you and Kaeviir and Chunakote in the first place. Mm-hmm.
Wait, who's Chunakote?
Well, I
feel like I wasn't invited to the full party.
As I learned from Adrie's father when I was transporting them to Matera Bay so many years ago, Chunakote was part of the party that took care of Strahd. Mm-hmm. He too suffered from lycanthropy, and I was kind of hoping to pick his brain a little bit on how he dealt with it and what might be able to, solve my problem. But sadly, he's gone. Now, my research has told me that, as far as I can tell, the only way that I can get rid of this curse on myself is to kill Draga and eat his heart.
Ooh.
Ew.
Oh, trust me, I'm
Can
not
I
really.
watch? I haven't seen this before.
Yes. It's not exactly something I'm looking forward to. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I would very much like to be rid of this problem, especially before it gets too bad to the point where I kind of turn into him. I don't really particularly want to be that kind of monster.
Oh,
But
Captain, we are all monsters.
well, not in the physical sense.
That's not true.
Oh, it is. I've heard your stories.
It's got a real shape of water type deal going on.
Miss Adrie, I've heard your stories as Kess.
That wasn't me. That was Kestrel.
And to some, she was a monster.
That was not me. That was Kestrel.
You keep saying it, but that won't keep you. That won't, bring you peace at night.
Kestrel the monster.
No.
So, you said he's a Dark Lord.
Yes.
I've never faced one in open combat before. I prefer to have others do it.
Well, yeah. The thing about him is that he kind of, well, I guess up until all of this occurred, had managed to just kind of stay happy keeping to himself. I mean, he certainly is protective over what he controlled, his domain, but didn't really have any ambitions beyond that. At least not as far as I could tell. You didn't
Is his domain still there?
I imagine it is, but to be perfectly honest with you, when all of this kind of went down, I don't know if that changed. Oh. Maybe that's why he's gotten ambitious. That might be worth checking out. Well,
does he have any weaknesses?
Well, assuming that you can piss him off enough to transform into a shark, he doesn't quite have his wits about him as much. I mean, but he's a shark, so he's dangerous. I don't know if I'd necessarily call it a weakness, but he certainly does kind of get like a tunnel vision when he transforms. So maybe that's a position you can take advantage of, but I don't really know about any weaknesses. He was a strong son of a bitch even before we made our way here. I don't know much that would break his spirit. I don't know much that you could use against him to sway or try to appeal to some sort of empathetic portion of him. He's not a man of many feelings.
He's stronger as the shark, right?
Physically, for sure.
Is there a way to make him not be a shark?
Ooh, I've heard of spells. There was those who dabbled in spells that can reverse lycanthropy. Banish it for a short time.
Yeah, but see, I visited a couple of those people who claim they could be able to do that, and it never worked for me. And I assumed if it didn't work for me, it's worth a shot.
It depends. I mean, I've cured a girl of lycanthropy, but she had only been, I think, recently bitten.
Well, I'm an old salty dog or shark. I don't know that would work for me now. And maybe that's why it didn't work for me all the times that I went out and searched for it anyway. Maybe it had just been too long.
Hey, yo.
Well, I mean, you strike me as a learned fella. Cargillis, what do you know about the subject?
Well, as a lycanthrope, it's not like he's a wolf lycanthrope. To be honest, I haven't come across many were sharks.
Yeah.
So magic weapons obviously would have to be the primary source.
Hmm.
I don't know if silver will be as effective on a were shark as it is against as it is against a werewolf.
I've handled silver.
Being
I haven't had it used against me as a
Mhm.
weapon, but I've certainly handled it and didn't get the sense that there was
Okay.
any problems there. But I don't know.
I don't
That's what
see
I
you
was hoping to find that out from Chunakote.
I don't see you having any issues being on land, being part shark.
No, but it does. It does. You do get this innate sense that once you transform, yeah, you can be on land for a short time, but there is sort of the shark instinct within you drives you to want to get to water. And the longer you're in a shark form, or at least for my case, the more I feel like I need to be in the water. So you can survive on land, but you don't like it after a while. Starts to drive you. It's like reverse claustrophobia. That's the best way I can explain it.
Wonder if there's a way we can use that to our advantage.
Perhaps. Either prevent him from getting in the water, maybe, or anything we could do to potentially prevent a transformation or weaken a transformation. Don't get me wrong, even as a human, he's still going to be tough. He's a skilled swordsman. He knows his way around, a ship. He's going to be difficult to contend with no matter what. I know that. I'm hoping that by throwing him off guard, maybe I can get just a tiny little opening to take care of him. We'll see.
All right. Intriguing. I'm gonna go study the books Mr. Kaeviir has down below. Maybe he has something.
Well, if you find anything, please let me know.
His eye stalks nod and he begins to float. Intriguing sharks and who's the other force in Matura Bay? I believe the Kurgat have a foothold there, don't they?
Yeah,
They do.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is going to be intriguing.
They're also, not to bring another layer to this, but they're looking for Kestrel the last time I was there.
Oh, the intrigue. This shall be a good story. And he just kind of floats away.
Well, let's hope that when this plan comes to fruition, that we can get in and out quickly, and maybe we don't even have to step foot in town.
You feel your pants legs tug, Rayne. You see Hawk standing down looking up at you.
Yes, First Mate Hawks.
You pat your leg. Hawks blow him up for you. Hawks blow him up real good.
Okay, well.
Hawks like Captain Rayne.
Well, Captain Rayne likes you too, Hawks. Just follow my lead. There's a time and a place for a fireball, and I'll let you know when it is.
Well, that would definitely get his attention.
It would. But I kind of like try and say this in a way that Hawks can't hear. Is like I just worry about his ability to aim properly. Just I don't want him to start unleashing hell on deck and accidentally catch part of our ship on fire. That would be.
What if? Do you think Kergillis could maybe? Because Kergillis can fly, so maybe he could deploy a Hawks and then fly back.
We're gonna never-ending story this bitch, right? Hawks is gonna come riding down on Cargillus through the clouds.
Yeah.
And then everything just sets itself on fire.
That is scary shit.
I'm down for this plan. Because my other thought was, could you just dangle Hawks on a rope below and just let him float down below the cloud?
I was thinking of like those baby harness things, and we just fit one on the Beholder, and then we put Hawks in it, and then
like a mount.
Don't tell the Beholder you're mounting a kobold on it.
Especially one that can hurl fireballs.
A Kobo-Holder. It's so literal.
Oh,
it literally holds kobolds, and it's a kobold holder.
Oh, this is gonna be this is gonna be a body count.
Can we make a kobold holder as like content that we can post on the Patreon?
Sure.
Like a team, like a squad called the bow holder.
It's an over-the-shoulder
bowl holder.
Kobold.
Go over the shoulder kobold holder.
Over the beholder kobold holder. That's
oh my god.
That's a comic.
Oh my god.
Trademark that shit right
kobold,
now.
Beholder, kobold on a beholder, kobold over the shoulder, kobold holder.
I will not eat them. I do not like green eggs and ham.
Oh man. And then they could be smoking weed in the last panel, and it would be an over the shoulder kobold holder in Boulder.
This is gonna be a body count.
Oh man, I am here for it.
In camo, the over the shoulder kobold holder soldier in Boulder.
If you pack it full of ice, it becomes the over-the-shoulder colder holder.
If it found the X-Files,
oh my god,
it would be the over-the-shoulder colder fucking kobold holder in Boulder with Fox Mulder.
Oh, jeez.
This one I thought you guys couldn't add another. Shit!
Wait a minute.
No.
If Lisa Frank did it, right? It would be an over-the-shoulder colder boulder holder in Boulder soldier with Fox Mulder, Lisa Frank folder, right? Or a dolphin folder, right?
Are you gonna draw them in camouflage riding a dolphin with a kobold on top of the beholder?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I could find a way to streamline this, because otherwise I'm gonna have to draw 58 fucking pictures of a fucking.
And just add the clip of you guys going back and forth, adding more shit to it as the shit panels through TikTok.
Man.
All right.
Fox Mulder. That's funny.
All right. Is there anything you two want to do before I switch over to the other campaign?
No, I think while Cargillus goes down and does some research, I'm going to start making my rounds of determining, at least, in terms of the physical capabilities that our ship has and what I can use. And Adrie is welcome to come along unless she's got something else she'd rather do right now.
No, I think I want to familiarize myself with the ship and maybe ask Rayne, so after we cause a diversion on Draga's ship to distract him or get him to come over to it, we're just fighting him on the ship? Assuming there's still a ship there?
Yeah, what I'm hoping is that we can draw enough number of his men off of my boat to go do whatever, leaving us in a position where maybe we can overwhelm what's left with my crew. And as far as Draga, I guess we may have to play that a little bit by ear. That's going to depend on how he reacts.
Okay.
But yeah, ultimately, we'll be swinging into action, probably literally, depending upon how we pull this off.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna switch over to the two gents walking through the forest of no return.
The lute is a terrible instrument, and you playing it is an embarrassment to music.
Wow. You are just insufferable. I'm glad
Violins
we never
are
hooked up.
clearly better. It's like eating with
Please.
your hands versus eating with an instrument. What are you doing? Like,
I
use
can't
a
believe I made a
fork.
pass at you. Like, what the fuck?
I can't either, actually, for being perfectly honest.
Right? The shit you do as a spy.
And you thought cannons were on the other ship. There's cannon here. This is cannon.
Oh, I've seen cannons, sir.
Look,
So,
all I'm saying is that you pick at it like a bird, not a carcass. It's disgusting.
please.
It's a twangy, out of tune, cacophonous sound. It's like you pushed a violin down the stairs.
Ah, sir, I tell you, my lute has turned many of battles.
Has it? They all just decide to leave because the sound was annoying.
No. You're insufferable.
I'm insufferable. Have you heard your music on that thing? Try it on a violin.
Please.
Look, you're a talented musician. I'm sure you could pick it up very quickly.
I know how to play the violin. I know how to play the fiddle.
Well, then why would you play that?
Because.
Is it like a training exercise? Like, hey, if I can make a song sound good on this piece of shit, it'll sound amazing when I play it on a real instrument.
No, because I'd rather hit somebody with a lute if I have to than I hit them with a violin.
Yeah, why play a percussion instrument when you can just bang drums together, right? Or trash can lids, or fucking you just
I
kick a
swear,
can down the street.
Thrasta had a nephew back in the day. Son of a bitch on drums. Motherfucker couldn't hold his shit though.
Look, I'm just saying that you should consider playing a real instrument if you want to be taken seriously as a musician. I'm putting it, look, we're friends. I'm putting it out there for you.
Oh, we're friends now.
As close as I could be with someone who plays that.
He stops all of a sudden. We got company.
Perception?
Roll.
You want passive or do you want active?
Go ahead and give me active.
29.
You pick up what Ludo saw, fresh footprints ahead of you guys in the mud.
Size?
Humanoid.
How many?
Does
it look like they're traveling in pairs or a group?
They seem to be traveling in a group. You can easily you can pick up the fact there's 4 of them and they're walking 2 by 2.
Right. Depth, kind of judge weight.
One of them's heavier than the others. The other 3 seem lighter.
Okay.
You're probably guessing between 5 and 6 feet tall.
Okay. The foot placement. I know that we're looking for a person who raises undead, so I'm looking for shuffle marks on a few of the.
No more. Not armored at all. No. You're not picking up anything from like a heavy armor. Or from like a shuffle or a drag.
Okay, so
from like a robe or something.
Okay. Okay.
So
I'll relay the information to Ludo.
he nods.
How low are we walking through tree line here?
Yeah. Heavy pine trees.
Okay, and they're pretty dense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look to see if there's anything broken off to see if someone was coming through here stealthily, or if they were just kind of traipsing through. broken branches and stuff like that would mean that they
No,
were
I
just
understand.
traveling. Right.
It doesn't seem like they're being real too stealthy. You can tell I mean, the most they're doing is trying to hide numbers, but outside of that, it doesn't seem like they're trying to hide themselves too well. There's a
Okay.
decent like mist coming down. Ludo clicks off the hilt of his blade on his back to make it easier to pull.
Okay. Can we tell how fresh they are? You said there's a mist, so that means that they would probably degrade over time. Are these fresh?
Yeah, these are fresh. You can easily tell within an hour.
Within an hour. Okay. And up in the distance, is there any light source that I'm assuming we're
You do
traveling
see
at
a
night?
break in the trees. Yeah, you guys are it's about midday with you guys as well.
Okay. Then
So
I'm going to step off to the side into the woods before it breaks into an open area and kind of stay moving stealthily.
all right. Ludo breaks to the other side and does the same thing.
All right, I'm gonna stealth check.
All right.
I'll take the 10. So
All right.
27.
Sounds good. Let me pull up Ludo's sheet. 23 for Ludo. So, the two of you creep up slowly to where the break, and you see a battlefield ahead of you. You recognize the battlefield and the characteristics of it from the one that Adri described in her scry.
Right.
Bodies, the battlefield's seared and scarred, burn marks. Mercenaries dead. You see undead kind of shattered and torn, limbs in different places.
Any sound?
Some voices. The four ahead of the footprints you saw that were connected to the fort. You see them actually walking through and checking the bodies and moving things slowly. You see a couple mindless undead walking behind them, but they seem to be ignoring the four of them.
What kind of garb are they wearing?
You recognize four Vistani.
Oh. Any
So
distinguishable marks, emblems?
no, they seem to have themselves mostly wrapped up in cloaks. One of them has their cloak, the hood down, and but the deeper footprints you could tell was from one of them carrying a bag, a heavier bag. They have it it's kind of set down here as they're checking things and moving things, seeing if anything valuable was left behind.
Okay.
So the dialect's slightly different than the Barovia Vistani you've been around, but it's enough to where you can
Same
pick up the
language.
same. Yeah, it just like different region
Okay.
dialect, but it's the vowels are pretty much the same. There's a couple words that are a little off, but easy enough you pick up what they're doing.
Okay, well, I'm going to use my insightful to observe them.
All right.
Also I can learn whether they are my equal, superior, inferior of the stats. I'm going to go ahead and use let's do intelligence wisdom again.
Okay. On which one?
Any of
Which
them
of the
seem like
four?
they're in charge?
Yes, the one without the hood.
That one.
All right. And they got a roller.
No, there's no rolls. You just tell me.
Okay.
So is their intelligence higher than a 17?
No.
Is their wisdom higher than a 16?
No.
Okay. My understanding of the Vistani are that they're not evil, correct?
Most of them are not. Most of them are traveler. They're extremely wary of outsiders. The ones in Barovia seem to have an affinity and a connection to Strahd. Outside of that, you not many of them really truly interact with all the Dark Lords, but because of Strahd and being the original, most
Right.
Vistani have a gift. They're able to actually move through the mists where others can't.
Right. I'm going to Thief's Cant to Ludo.
Okay.
Stay hidden.
He replies, agreed.
Okay. I'm
You
going
see it?
to
Go for it.
Oh, go ahead.
The leader pulls out a talisman. He walks over to one of the bodies and he begins to speak, and the body raises for a moment, and he looks down. What happened here? A battle between a knight of death, and the forces of Aslan. I'm gonna fuck. I need to read that name again. I'm gonna fuck it up every time. Hold on. Yeah, Aslan. I got that right. Points. And he's like, and he asked another question. Who won? No one that missed. Which way do they go? He points off to the direction. He points off to the west. He moves the talisman and the body drops.
I'm going to walk out of the woods, arms held in the air. I'm going to speak in Vistani.
All right.
Wow, using their dialect. Come in peace.
They all kind of spurn on a heel quickly. A few hands go to the hilt, and the one with the hood.
Relax.
Be still. Be still.
Speak the language.
Yeah, you do for an outsider. Or a Gorgrio.
When in someone's homeland, it's nice to speak their language. I have always tried to adapt to that custom.
It's nice to have the respect of someone actually seeing it right.
Well, I am a bit of a linguist myself, so I do sort of enjoy this portion of it, meeting new people and speaking to them in their mother tongue.
You see the mindless undead turn attention to you, the skeletons, and he's like, whoa, hold on. He pulls out another charm out of his pocket and throws it to you. Put it on.
Okay.
And he speaks a few words. It kind of gets a glow. At that point, the skeletons, they don't see you anymore in a sense. They kind of look past you and turn and begin to keep walking across the field mindlessly.
I'm going to look at it and be like, this is nice. I like this.
There's a few ways you travel through the land.
Wow.
Respect is given, respect is earned.
Well, thank you.
Our camp's not too far away. After this few hours travel, we can offer you food and drink. At least, I mean, with the weather.
I have a traveling companion with me, but I wasn't certain that our interaction was going to go well. I wasn't sure if I was going to spook you. Is it all right if he comes out?
Of course. You've shown respect to the language. Not many in this land that do.
I'm going to kind of gesture.
Ludo begins walking out slowly. Looks over.
It's a friend of mine. Ludo?
Oh, we know the face and the name.
Oh. Well, good. I never got your name.
Arkyle.
What is it?
Arkyle.
Arkyle, like R. Kelly. Got it. like the socks. Arkyle. Well, it's nice to meet you, Arkyle.
You will? And your name?
Master Kaeviir the Professional.
They all look up. They look over at Ludo, look back at him. It's odd. The former spy of the Ancient One and the one who killed him.
Well, there's a lot of politics in this. It's sort of a situation with family. I'd be happy to tell you the story. The last I met with the Vistani in Barovia, they really enjoyed sharing stories with each other. If you're interested in the story, I'm happy to tell it. Maybe
Always.
over a meal.
Vistani loves stories.
Can just answer me this: do you prefer the lute or the violin? Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism. We really appreciate you coming in and listening. We also really appreciate all the people who support our Patreon. By supporting the Patreon, you're going to get behind the scene, uncut clips that You'll get to see sort of like maybe the tissue behind some of the edited, cleaned up content. And you'll get that whenever we have a big block of it to drop, as well as any updates or any information behind the scenes stuff that we think the Patreons would like to know. So if you'd like to support our Patreon and help us continue making the high quality, high octane podcast that you've come to expect, go ahead to patreon.com/freelance_heroism. Thank you. And as usual, the invoice is in the mail. Butt salad sandwiches, the most delicious kind there are. They're made of butt salad. My favorite kind of salad in the world. What's going on?
How you doing?
Fucking dweebs, you
Oh my god.
fucking nerd ass dweebs, you dweeby ass nerdy fucking dweeb nerds. Nerd dweeb ass dwerbs.
Dwerbs? Are you okay?
You fucking dwerbs. Yeah, I'm having a stirk attack.